Imagine scrolling through Facebook on a random Tuesday night. You're tired, you're bored, just killing time before bed. You see a friend's post, then another, then a suggested friend pops up. A woman you don't know, pretty about your age. You click on her profile. Just curious. And then you see a photo of your husband, with her, on a beach, with a little boy who looks exactly like him. Your heart stops. Your hands shake. You click through more photos. Birthday parties, Christmas mornings, family vacations, all with your husband, all with another woman, and a child who's at least 3 years old. Now imagine confronting him, and he looks you straight in the eye and says, "You're crazy. I've never seen that woman in my life. You need help." This is not a movie. This is a real Reddit story. And what this woman did next, it broke the internet. Over 50,000 upvotes, 10,000 comments, and an ending that will make you stand up and cheer. Get comfortable. This is a long one. And trust me, it's worth it. This story was posted on r/Am I the Asshole by a 32-year-old woman. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah had been married to her husband, let's call him Mike, for 8 years. They met in college, fell in love, got married at 24. Classic American love story. Mike was a regional sales manager for a medical supply company. His job required travel, a lot of travel. He was on the road 3 weeks out of every month, sometimes more. Sarah got used to it. She had her own career as a graphic designer, her own friends, her own life. They made it work. When people asked, "How do you do it? How do you stay married with him gone all the time?" Sarah would smile and say, "Trust, communication, and really good FaceTime calls." And she meant it. She trusted Mike completely. He called her every night. He sent her photos from his hotel rooms. He brought her gifts from every city. He was the perfect husband. When he was home, they tried to have kids for a while, but it didn't happen. Doctors said it was unexplained infertility. Mike was supportive. "It'll happen when it's meant to," he'd say. "And if it doesn't, we'll be okay. I have you. That's all I need." Sarah felt lucky. She had a good marriage, a good career, a good life. Sure, she got lonely sometimes. Sure, she wished he was home more. But that was the sacrifice you make when you marry someone with a demanding job. Or so she thought. Looking back, Sarah wrote, "There were red flags. So many red flags. But I ignored them because I loved him and I trusted him. I thought that's what marriage was about." The missed birthdays. The holidays he couldn't get away for. The way he kept his phone face down at all times. The passwords on everything. The work emergencies that came at the weirdest hours. She ignored it all because she loved him. And then Facebook happened. It was a Tuesday night. Nothing special. Sarah was scrolling through Facebook, killing time before bed. Mike was on another business trip, Chicago, he said. He'd texted her earlier. "Long day. Going to bed early. Love you." Sarah liked a few posts, commented on a friend's photo, and then Facebook suggested a friend. A woman named Jessica. "People you may know," it said. 10 mutual friends. Sarah didn't recognize the name, but 10 mutual friends was a lot. She clicked. Jessica's profile was public. Sarah scrolled through her photos casually at first. Just curiosity. Then she saw a photo from 2 years ago. A beach. A man with his arm around Jessica. The man's face was turned slightly away, but something about him looked familiar. Sarah's heart started beating faster. She clicked on the photo, zoomed in, and then she saw the tattoo on his forearm. A tribal band that Mike got 10 years ago. For his grandpa. He'd said .it was him. It was Mike. Sarah's hand started shaking. She kept scrolling. Another photo. Christmas morning. Jessica, Mike, and a little boy, maybe 2 years old, opening presents under a tree. Mike was wearing the sweater Sarah bought him last year. The one she'd wondered where it went. Another photo. A birthday party. The little boy was turning 3. There was a cake that said, "Happy birthday, Liam." Mike was holding the boy, both of them smiling at the camera. They had the same eyes, the same nose. Another photo. A wedding. Their wedding. Jessica in a white dress, Mike in a suit, standing together at what looked like a courthouse. The date? 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Sarah had been married to Mike for 8 years. She sat there in the dark, staring at her phone, unable to breathe. Her husband had another wife, another family, another life. And that little boy was at least 3, which meant Mike had been with Jessica before the kid was born, which meant he'd been living a double life for years. Sarah wrote. I don't remember crying. I don't remember screaming. I just sat there completely frozen, while my entire life crumbled in front of me. Sarah didn't confront Mike that night. She couldn't. She was in shock. She just sat there until 3 a.m., going through every single photo, every single post, every single piece of evidence. Jessica's profile was a goldmine. There were photos going back 5 years. Mike was in so many of them. Family vacations, holiday dinners, Liam's first steps, Liam's first words, Liam's first day of preschool. There were posts from Jessica herself. So grateful for my amazing husband. Best daddy in the world. Date night with my love. Sarah saved everything. Screenshot after screenshot after screenshot. She filled an entire folder on her phone. When Mike came home 3 days later, Sarah was waiting. She'd barely slept. She'd barely eaten. She'd rehearsed this conversation 100 times in her head. She sat him down and said, "Who is Jessica?" Mike's face didn't change. Not a flicker. "Who?" "Jessica. The woman you married. The mother of your son. Liam's mother." Mike laughed. Actually laughed. He said, "Babe, what are you talking about? Are you feeling okay? You look exhausted. Have you been sleeping?" Sarah pulled out her phone and showed him the photos. Mike looked at them, scrolled through a few. Then he handed the phone back and said with a straight face, "I don't know who that is. That's not me. Someone must have photoshopped my face onto some guy. Babe, you're scaring me. This is crazy talk." Sarah couldn't believe it. "Mike, it's you. That's your tattoo. That's your sweater. That's your face." Mike shook his head sadly. "Sweetheart, I think you need help. This is delusional. I'm really worried about you." For a moment, just a moment, Sarah doubted herself. Was she crazy? Was it possible? No, she'd seen it with her own eyes. She said, "I have more. I have hundreds of photos. I have her address. I have her phone number. Do you want me to call her right now?" Mike's face changed. Just for a second. A flash of panic. Then it was gone. He stood up. "I'm not doing this. I'm going to my mom's. When you're ready to apologize for accusing me of something insane, call me." And he walked out. Sarah sat there alone again, wondering if she was losing her mind. At that moment, Sarah made a decision. She wasn't crazy. She wasn't delusional. And she wasn't going to let Mike gaslight her into silence. She became a detective. First, she found Jessica's phone number through a mutual friend. She didn't call, not yet. Instead, she did something smarter. She created a fake Facebook profile. Nothing fancy, just a basic account with a stock photo. She sent Jessica a friend request. Jessica accepted within hours. People love getting new friends. Now Sarah could see everything. Jessica's profile was mostly public anyway, but now she could see the posts meant for friends only. And oh my God, the posts. There was one from 2 weeks ago, counting down the days until Daddy comes home. Liam can't wait to see you. There was one from their anniversary. 4 years married to my best friend. Best decision I ever made. There was one from Liam's birthday. 3 years ago you made me a mommy. Best day of my life. Sarah saved it all. Every single post. Every single photo. Every single comment. Then she started digging deeper. She found Jessica's address through public records. She found her workplace. She found her parents' names. She found her wedding registry from 4 years ago, still online, still visible. She found the wedding announcement in a local newspaper. Jessica Marie Thompson married Michael David Chun in a small ceremony at City Hall. Michael David Chun, Sarah's husband, with his full name, in print. Sarah had everything, every piece of evidence she could possibly need. But she still didn't know what to do with it. Confront Jessica? Expose Mike? Try to salvage her marriage? What would you do? She posted on Reddit asking for advice. And Reddit came through big time. The comments were overwhelming. NTA. Document everything. Get a lawyer. Do not warn him. Contact Jessica. She deserves to know the truth too. She's also a victim here. Post it all. Publicly. Let everyone see who he really is. Get screenshots of everything before he deletes anything. Move fast. Sarah took the advice. She contacted a divorce lawyer the next day. The hardest part was contacting Jessica. Sarah knew she had to do it. Jessica deserved to know the truth. But how do you tell someone that their entire marriage is a lie? Sarah wrote a long message. She explained everything. Who she was, how long she'd been married to Mike, the discovery on Facebook, the gaslighting, the evidence. She included screenshots, wedding photos, timelines, proof that Mike was with her on days he was supposed to be with Jessica. She hit send and waited. Jessica responded within hours, and her response broke Sarah's heart. Jessica wrote, "I thought I was crazy. I thought I was imagining things. He disappears for weeks at a time. He never lets me visit his office. He says his phone is broken when I try to FaceTime. I found a receipt from a jewelry store in another city once, and he said it was for a client. I believed him. I believed all of it." They talked for hours, comparing notes, putting together the puzzle. Mike had been living 2 completely separate lives. With Sarah, he was the sales manager who traveled for work. With Jessica, he was the regional director who had to be in the field constantly. Both women thought he was away for legitimate reasons. Both women thought they were the only one. Liam was born 3 years ago. Mike was there for the birth. On a personal day, he told Sarah. He was there for Liam's first birthday, a conference in the area, he told Sarah. He was there for Christmas, for Thanksgivings, for anniversaries. He had built an entire second family. and neither woman had any idea. Jessica sent Sarah photos, hundreds of them, and Sarah noticed something heartbreaking. In every photo, Mike was always looking slightly away from the camera, like he was afraid someone might see. Jessica wrote, "I feel so stupid. I feel so used. I gave this man everything. I gave him a son." They made a decision together. They weren't going to let Mike get away with this. They weren't going to be silent. They weren't going to let him gaslight them into thinking they were crazy. They were going to expose him. Together. The next day, Sarah posted on Facebook. Not just a status. A full exposé. She wrote a long post detailing everything. 8 years of marriage. The business trips. The gaslighting. The discovery. The second wife. The 3-year-old son. The lies. All of it. And she attached evidence. Screenshots of Mike with Jessica. Screenshots of Mike with her on the same days, different locations. Wedding photos from both marriages. Timeline comparisons. Messages. Everything. Then she did something that would change everything. She tagged people. Everyone. She tagged Mike's family, his mother, his father, his brother, his sister. She tagged her own family. She tagged their mutual friends. She tagged Mike's coworkers. She tagged his boss. She tagged the company he worked for. She tagged Jessica. And Jessica commented, "I'm the other wife. I had no idea. I'm so sorry, Sarah. We're in this together." She tagged Liam's Facebook page. Yes, Jessica had made one for him with photos. And she wrote, "This is Mike's son. He's 3 years old. He deserves to know the truth about his father." The post went viral. Within hours, it had thousands of shares. Within a day, it had tens of thousands. People were furious. The comments were insane. "This is the most disgusting thing I've ever read. He deserves to lose everything. I'm sharing this everywhere. His poor wife. His poor other wife. That poor baby." Mike's phone exploded. His family called him screaming. His coworkers saw the post. His boss saw the post. The company's HR department saw the post. Mike called Sarah hysterical. "What did you do? Are you insane? You ruined my life." Sarah said calmly, "I didn't ruin your life, Mike. You ruined your life. I just showed everyone who you really are." He threatened to sue her. She laughed. "For what? Telling the truth? With evidence? Go ahead, Mike. Let's see how that works out for you in court." He begged her to take it down. She refused. He called Jessica, begging her to delete her comments. She refused too. Within 48 hours, Mike was fired from his job. His family cut him off. Even his mother said she was disgusted by what he'd done. His friends abandoned him. He had nowhere to go. Both Sarah and Jessica filed for divorce. With the Facebook post as evidence, the cases were open and shut. Mike didn't even try to fight it. Sarah got the house. She got half of everything. And she got something even better, freedom. But the story doesn't end there. Oh no. Mike's karma was just getting started. A few months later, Sarah got a message from someone she didn't expect. Mike's ex-girlfriend from 10 years ago. Let's call her Amanda. Amanda wrote, "I saw your post. I just wanted you to know. He did the same thing to me. We were together for 2 years. He told me he traveled for work. He disappeared for weeks at a time. I found out later he had another girlfriend the whole time. I thought I was crazy. I thought it was my fault. Thank you for exposing him. Thank you for making me feel less alone." Sarah was stunned. Mike hadn't just been living a double life. He'd been doing this for years, maybe his whole adult life. More messages came in. Women from different cities, different states, different years, all with the same story. Mike would date them, tell them he traveled for work, then disappear for weeks. Some of them had suspected something. Some of them had confronted him. He'd gaslight them all. Sarah started a private Facebook group for Mike's victims. Within a month, 12 women had joined. 12. And those were just the ones who found the post. Meanwhile, Mike's life was falling apart. He couldn't get a job. Every time he applied somewhere, the potential employer would Google him and find the viral post. He was unhireable. He moved in with a friend temporarily. The friend kicked him out after a week when his girlfriend recognized Mike from the post he tried to date. Women would agree to meet him, then Google his name and canceled. He was alone. Completely, utterly alone. Jessica got full custody of Liam. Mike tried to fight for visitation, but the judge saw the evidence and limited him to supervised visits once a month. Even those were awkward and painful. Liam didn't really know him. He was a stranger with his face. Mike's mother eventually reached out to Sarah, apologizing. She said, "I raised a monster and I didn't even know it. I'm so sorry for what he did to you." Sarah forgave her. It wasn't her fault. Mike's father refused to speak to him at all. "You're not my son anymore," he said. And that was it. And Sarah? Sarah's life got so much better. After the divorce was finalized, she took some time for herself. She traveled. She reconnected with old friends. She went to therapy, lots of therapy. She had to process 8 years of lies, 8 years of betrayal, 8 years of being gaslighted into doubting her own reality. It wasn't easy. There were nights she cried. Nights she wondered if she'd ever trust anyone again. Nights she felt stupid for not seeing the signs earlier. But slowly she healed. She threw herself into her graphic design career. Without the stress of Mike's lies and absences, she flourished. She got promoted. She started her own freelance business on the side. She made more money than ever before. She reconnected with an old college friend named Tom. They'd known each other for years but lost touch. He'd recently moved back to town after a divorce of his own. They started grabbing coffee, then dinner, then spending weekends together. Tom was everything Mike wasn't. He was present. He was honest. He texted back. He showed up. When he said he'd be somewhere, he was there. When he said he loved her, she believed him. They took it slow. Really slow. Sarah needed to rebuild her trust, and Tom understood. He never pushed. He never made her feel crazy for having doubts. After 2 years, Tom proposed. On a beach at sunset, with a ring he'd designed himself. Sarah said yes. Their wedding was small, just close friends and family. Jessica came with little Liam. Sarah and Jessica had become actual friends through all of this. Bonded by trauma, they'd supported each other through the divorces, through the healing, through everything. Liam called Sarah Auntie Sarah. He was 5 now, a happy little boy who had no idea about the complicated circumstances of his birth. All he knew was that he had 2 moms who loved him. His real mom, Jessica, and his bonus mom, Sarah. Sarah's private Facebook group for Mike's victims had grown to 24 women. They supported each other, shared resources, and celebrated each other's victories. Some had remarried. Some had started businesses. Some were still healing. But none of them felt alone anymore. And Mike? Last anyone heard, he was living in a small studio apartment in a cheap part of town, working a minimum wage job that barely covered his rent. His own mother hadn't spoken to him in 2 years. His son didn't know him. His ex-wives had moved on. His life was exactly what he'd built for himself. Empty, lonely, and full of consequences. So here's the question Reddit had to answer. Was Sarah wrong for exposing Mike publicly on Facebook? Should she have handled it privately? The verdict was almost unanimous. NTA not the asshole. 99.7%. The top comment, with over 200,000 upvotes, said, NTA. He didn't just cheat. He built an entire second life. He had a whole other wife. A whole other child. He gaslighted her when she confronted him. He made her think she was crazy. He deserved to lose everything. And the public exposure protected other women from falling into his trap. Sarah is a hero. Another powerful comment. The fact that 24 women came forward after seeing that post. Think about how many more there are who didn't. Think about how many lives he destroyed. Sarah didn't just expose a cheater. She exposed a predator. And the most beautiful comment. Jessica and Sarah became friends. They're raising that little boy together in a way that's actually healthy. That's not revenge. That's redemption. That's turning something horrible into something beautiful. Sarah won. And she deserved to win. So what do you think? Was Sarah right to go public? Would you have done the same thing? Have you ever discovered a secret that changed everything? Drop a comment below and share your story. You never know who might need to hear it. And remember, if someone tries to make you feel crazy for trusting your own eyes, your own instincts, your own truth, they're probably hiding something. Trust yourself. You're not crazy. You're not dramatic. You're not overreacting. You're paying attention. Thanks for watching this incredible story. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got more stories coming that will shock you, move you, and maybe even change how you see the world. See you in the next video.